So welcome to Monday's Lenses Circle. We've just been talking about tech and changing time zones and times and group privacy settings and all of that. So if I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde or anything, probably. But yeah, definitely one thing that is an ongoing thing is the tech issues. Yay. But we can choose to move forward and do what we can with what we've got. If it means seeing it from a different perspective, if it means having to change something slightly, as frustrating as it is, it's like, okay, well, is it going to serve me to stay in that frustration and or should I do something about it and maybe just change, what I need to do because of the restrictions of what this tech is giving me. So, for example, I sent out the Zoom link to some of you that I know that might not have seen the time change. So yeah. So not everyone got it, I don't think, in time. But I got it. Open this. You did, yes. And I know Natalie is driving, so that's why she hasn't got her camera off. So she did tell me that in advance. But thanks for joining, Nat.
Hello. Thanks.
Hi. So we'd like to open this circle on this Monday morning or Sunday night, wherever you are in the world, with a bit of a reflection on your sweet and sours. So what's your sweet? If you're reflecting back of the week just gone, what are your wins? What are you celebrating this week that you've achieved? It could be really small, it could be big, it could be something personal, it could be in your business, but what are you celebrating about yourself and your progress in life? So who would like to share first?
Yeah, I'll go. I've had managers up the last couple of weeks, so we've been pretty busy, but we had a piece of equipment that had an issue and we've been toing and froing with Malaysia and Switzerland, getting them to understand what the problem was. They finally admitted that the fault was theirs. They sent some extra parts over and we finally got it working on Friday. This is a big thing because a lot of the equipment I do is for vaccine research and stuff. So this lab hadn't been able to use it. And this piece of equipment's $300,000. So we finally got up running. They can run their projects now. So that's one of the wins. My sows, or whatever you call them, Amber, is because I've been so busy with management, I'm so far behind them with quotes. So now I'm going to stay home this week and just plow through the quotes and catch up and follow-ups, etc. So it'll be a busy week, but I won't do hundreds of kilometers on the road, so which will be good.
Nice. That's a big worth of equipment. Yes. A lot. That's awesome. Great wins. Great. And nice to see you already switching the sours into, oh, you know what, I won't be on the road. Here are the benefits of staying home and da. So that's good.
Yeah, I suppose it's not technically a sour, but we like to respond to customers within a certain period of time, and when you don't do that, you've got an opportunity of losing potentially business. So you've got to be front of mind for them all the time. So yeah, but I mean, you just drop them a quick note, hey, busy, I'll get to it pretty quick, or waiting on information. So they know that you're working on it, and we'll go from there.
Thanks for sharing. Any other challenges in your week at the moment?
Personality stuff. I've got an engineer that doesn't have a great way with people, so I need to sometimes run, well, not run shotgun, but I do I talk to the customer and keep him away. He does what he does. He's a very good tech, but he's a stress head. So if someone pushes him, he gets agitated. So I do the dialogue with the customer, and I keep him away from the customer because some of the customers are quite feisty when they're not getting what they think they should be getting. And you know, I've been in the game for a while now. I'm pretty thick-skinned, so I'll be the nice to the customer. I run the dialogue, and as much as even if their thinking is not quite on track, that's fine. You just work through them and just guide them through into another way. So yeah, which is probably one of my reasons I've been successful in sales is I do the relationship thing. I work through them and just guide the conversation, never tell them they're wrong, but just find out why they think that way. Yeah, it's a game, but you've got to engage the customer and then just draw out of them and just subtly move their thinking so that they may see from our point of view what the struggles are and stuff like that. So it's that's a lot of what I do. And engineers are a breed on their own. So yeah, that's probably the challenge I've had the last few months is because this guy can't quite settle. I just tell him to breathe, you know. So things like I said, just come within yourself, just breathe. It's because he thinks they're picking on him, and it's not. He's just a symbolism of the company or the problem. He hasn't caused the problem, but he's trying to fix it. But the customer just goes, "Well, you're the company, so it's your problem." So anyhow, we get through, but that's one of the challenges. It's ongoing. So, but I'll work it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you definitely seem to bring some of the mindsets, coaching stuff into your day job well, and perhaps using that on your staff for if they're feeling agitated or maybe doing some of your mindset. Have you been doing mindset training with your staff as well?
I don't actually have any direct reports, but
Right.
I manage sideways, I manage up. So I do it subtly, Amber, because they don't understand a lot of what I'm doing with them, but the way I speak or the way I approach things or the way that I offer an observation.
Yeah.
Particularly the work that we've done the last few years is, and some other books I've read, I'm way calmer now than I used to be because in the earlier days, I probably would have been a little bit more direct with the customer if I thought they were incorrect, but not now. So a lot of the work I've brought that into the way that I deal with the people. I'm way calmer now. It's very rare something will upset me now like it used to because I've used a lot of the techniques and that to look at the situation in a different light. And because a lot of these customers, as I explained to this other Andrew and whatever, they could have had a bad day at home. Their wife or their husband's had a go at them. They've had, something's happened in traffic or other colleagues have not done stuff. So they're in a bad mood. You just happen to be the next one that rolls in and bang, they'll go you as well. You got to work the opportunity or work the situation around so that when they reflect later, they go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that to that person, but they didn't react back at me. So, it's a way of thinking with me that give them the opportunity to look back and think, was that the right thing or did I operate that the right way? But, go, look, maybe we're incorrect. Let me look into it, sort of bring it onto me. And then when we come back, I go, look, I found this out, da, da, da. It gives them an opportunity to look at it with a different viewpoint when they've had time to reflect.
Nice. Good reflection. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Good.
Stacey, what's your sweet and sours?
My sweets are I have a few customers, new customers, clients that I've been working with, and that's going really well. The onboarding has been much smoother than in the past, just because of some of the work that I've been doing in between, having paperwork established. I've got I'm a health coach, so I also now have testing ability. So with my functional nutrition, I can order tests for people, blood tests or specialty stool tests, things like that. So we did that this week. That was the first time I've done that. That was exciting. And just everybody seems real positive and excited about this. So I'm excited too, just to see how having all the pieces in a place where they can see everything and access it well makes it a whole lot easier for them to navigate and know exactly what they need to be doing. So I guess I've just been organizing things a little bit better, and that's been nice. So that was a definite win. And I have a couple of other people one that I talked to today and one I'm talking to tomorrow about coming on board. So these are premium paying clients. So if I can get those, that'll be really, really, really good for me for the next 3 months at least. And I haven't, because of all of this legwork that I've been doing, I haven't gotten much done on my program, the circuit that I'm trying to create so that I get more clients. But I did make some headway, at least in getting some new clients. So, hey, I'll take it.
Awesome.
My sours are just that I can't work on the CSS very well, the circuit, when I'm trying to work on a client intensely. And it's been a lot of intense work. I probably pour more time into it than I should, but I'm learning as I go too. Every person that comes through, I learn so much more. So, and then I have my own personal challenges, which I'm learning from and also able to impart to these people. So that's good though. I mean, it's like, it's a pain because it gets in the way and it slows me down for my progress because I'm always researching about what I need to do, but then that always applies to somebody in my my sphere of influence. So it ends up working out. Even my family, like my mom right now she's doing a low FODMAP diet. And so we're talking about, how to do that. And I'm encouraging her not to stay on it forever because I want her to get nutrients and not just eliminate, and then not have good, her organs not working like they need to, especially at her age. So I can't think of anything else. My daughter's a senior this year, and it's a little bit hard thinking about her leaving. I'm just not ready for that. I don't want to see her go. She's so sweet and fun and happy and cute, and it's just nice having that around the house. Bouncy, just cute, funny, and everybody. I mean, I don't know. She's just delightful. So, but she's not going too far. So I just kind of try and keep that in mind. That if I wanted to go down, she's 2 hours away. If I wanted to go for lunch and I wanted to take the day off, I could. As long as I stay in this job. If I work for somebody else, I'm not sure that's gonna happen. So another incentive to get this thing going.
Yeah, awesome. And interesting that awareness around not being able to give yourself, giving yourself giving a lot of your energy into delivering, and then not having energy to focus on the business side of things. So just feeling into that that awareness, and try to, like, are there any structures that you can set up and boundaries in terms of your time management that you can really, like, allow yourself to switch off and switch between those tasks? Like, is it, dedicating one full day just for coaching, and then one full day just to get into the mindset of the business back end and the program systems and things like that.
Yeah, I'm so bad lately. It's been, I've had a real distraction issue. I think it's because of what I'm researching. It's just like rabbit trail, rabbit trail, rabbit trail, rabbit trail. I mean, every time I go to, I'm staying on task with what I'm doing, but that leads to something else, which leads to something else, which leads to something else. I may have mentioned this in another one. It seems like I did the last time.
Yeah.
That does seem to be, and I keep telling myself, go back, stop, but at the same time, I'm like, but I need this. So there's like this battle inside of my head going, but I really need this information now. Like, this is really important. And so I think I need to just take a step back and evaluate, where do I spend the time on this? Because I think that's what it is. It's like, I wasn't planning on spending time on this particular issue, but it is something that I need, but it's not been on my radar. Or on my list of things that I need to do. So I think I just need a time block for it, so that I have that included. So then I don't feel like I'm off task if I'm down this rabbit hole, because it is a rabbit hole, but I need to be in that rabbit hole sometimes to get this information that I need to pull off what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Schedule time in for that rabbit hole stuff. Schedule it in, and only allow, and this is what you have to do with every week. You have to take that piece, like once you start going down that rabbit hole and you're going off task, like shelve it. Like, you've got to go, okay, I know I got to do this, but I really want to do this, but right now I'm focused on just like my sales funnel, or just coaching this client, or improving the program, or whatever it is. And have that time block for have like 2 or 3 hours to do that deep diving into something unknown, research. And I think when you have that time block in your calendar, you mentally go, I've got time to do this just right now. I'm really focused on this. And this is why your choices, coming back to your choices, is important, because it will bring your focus back to what's important. So always start the day with reading your choices. What are you creating today? Today I'm creating, I'm choosing to create, an online program, or an abundance of high quality leads, or I'm choosing to create a sales funnel. Getting a little bit more specific about what, you've got your high-end goals, but then coming down to your weekly kind of focus areas of, well, this sales funnel is actually going to contribute to my big picture vision. So it's important to get into that energy of, what am I focusing on today? I'm focusing on creating an easy, lucrative, and fun business that I love. And then if this is not, if this task isn't in alignment with that right now, then you need to put it in a different basket. You need to shelve for a later date, or an extra project that you're have another additional project list of things, but you need to write it down and shelve it until until you've got that extra time to look at it. Nikki, I know you relate to this with all of your ideas that come up, and you're like, oh, but I want to, I'm the same. I'm just like, entrepreneurial mindset is always looking at business ideas, and I've got them going 24/7. And I have to go, okay, is this in alignment with my goals this week? Is it going to serve me to start something new? No. So it's like, write it down, put it in your little bucket of ideas, and you can always go back to it when you find yourself with some extra time.
What do you do when, like, I was working on the Facebook group for my business, right? And as I was in that rabbit hole trying to figure out, am I on the right page to do that. You know, is it personal? Is it page? But then the question, then as I was going even deeper, like everything had a link to it, right? In the YouTube, I'm like, there's a link here, you know, I'm like, wait, where's that link she's talking about? So I'm going down there and I'm chasing that link. And then it's another great, like, and then you've got like 5 links that you go, I need to go back and look at all these links. And in the past, I have done things like make a list of, you know, kind of where I found it or something, but it's hard to do that when it's a link. And sometimes I won't go back at that time because it's one of those things just in the moment. And I might not go back. And so I just don't want to miss those opportunities to learn something that's really applicable to where I am. Later on, I might go, why was I looking at that? I don't remember. And then I might not go back.
Yeah, well then you got to ask yourself, was it really important if I'm now not interested? Like, why would you not?
I don't think it's that I'm not interested. I think I just really just kind of can't remember what the big deal was. I just remember there was a link. I was really going to go look at it. I felt like I needed
so you're going to
take
that extra bit of time to copy the link and write a little note to yourself. Like have a separate document or page, or I use Evernote, which you've got little things, tabs. Have a little, like every week have a fresh list, or every month have a fresh list, and write yourself a little note. If you forget, then you've got to put in a structure to support you remembering. Because if you know that you're going to forget, then you've got to do something that will help you, because obviously, you know, you can try and remember, but if you know, I'm the same, I'm going to forget about that little thing. So you have to you're going to put a practice in place, a structure that's going to support where your weakness is. If you know your weakness is remembering the little details of why something's important, then put a structure in place to write yourself a little note, and to come back to that every Sunday. You get to, 5 hours of free time, and you get to go through your list.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. It'll just keep me from going down too many rabbit trails, and it help me get this thing checked off,
Because then you can prioritize. Then you can oh, that's interesting. You might have a favorites bar that you put, or favorite the link and put it in a folder. But then also have a structure in place in your calendar. Check favorites folder. Open, review.
I did put it in my watch later YouTube file, section.
Yeah. And then you have to remember to watch them. So you have to put in your calendar.
I just would have to make sure to put it on my calendar.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a system for that, you guys? For that kind of thing?
If I'm looking for something, or I'm going through reading something or whatever, something pops up, I'll actually share it to Messenger, because then it's the link there, and then I continue to read what I'm doing, and then I can go back to Messenger, and I've got all these things that were of interest.
I've done that before too.
I like that idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that way you continue on the article, because as you said, links come up, and you'll just copy the link or share the link across the message, but keep reading that article. Then you go back to Messenger, as you said, Amber, schedule right, check your Messenger, and then you can go back and, as you said, Stacey, go further down the rabbit hole by rereading the link. You go, oh, okay, no, it's not actually what I want, as what Amber said. Is it actually important to what you're doing? But you can just reference back to it, have a look at it. Okay, no, that's no longer relevant. I'll go to my next link. But yeah, my Messenger is huge, because I just keep throwing things, particularly if I'm playing on the phone.
Because it's always there. Your Messenger's all. I mean, you can go there anytime and just scroll.
Yeah, if I'm on the computer, sometimes I'll create a work doc, like a Word document, and I'll just drop the links in, as Amber said, put a little note about what the link is, and I name that Word document whatever I'm looking at or whatever, and Project ABC, and then it just sits on the computer. But if I'm on the phone, I just throw it to Messenger.
Okay. Good deal.
I do something really similar, but I text links to myself, and articles. And every so often I look through my text list, it's always really big. And it's, oh, yeah, I'll keep that. Or no, I've way moved on from that idea. And it just
Yep.
means that I've kept it and I haven't lost it,
Yeah.
but I don't need to focus on it either.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot. I used to do that as well. I don't do it all the time religiously, but such a good one because you're just like, oh, it's there. I know I can go back to it at any time. And that pressure of like wanting to watch it now, just as you get that relief, right? And then you can move on to things. So yeah, good one.
Good tips.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Stacey. Nikki, would you like to share your sweet and sours? Thanks for joining. I'm glad you can join this time again.
Yes, yeah, eight's actually better for me too, so that's good. My sweets, I have written my first responders presentation. I'm not usually so pedantic, but because I can only speak for 15 minutes, there's no room for ums and ahs. So I get really precise about what I want to say. And there's 5 minutes questions as well. So, and I've started styling it, and I'm not as ahead as what I want to be, so that's my sour. And the conference is a week today. But I have got all the words there. I know what I'm talking about. And I have got a style that I'm creating. And I've also gone, it's been on because I do use lenses every day and I review them every week. I've changed the document a bit just so it works better for me, and I color things green that I've done or I'm working on. I put red on things that are blocked, or I also block out things I don't want to forget that I care about, but I don't want to do them now. So I'm getting better at prioritizing because I'm the same. I just have constant, endless ideas and I just end up all over the place. So now I've been focusing more on this is what I'm going to do this week. And I build everything around that. And if it doesn't connect with it, I've been putting it aside, and I even put it in red so that I know when I visually look at it, that's blocked out, that's not happening now, that's for another time. So that's working well for me. And I finally, a year ago, I came up with a kind of a business idea, and it's not really formed in my mind or anything. But I created a logo for it yesterday, and it just feels good. And I'm going to use that on the first responders presentation. It's like putting it out there that there's this business that's been created. So it's just a first step into bringing an idea into some form of reality. And I've started creating a guide for first responders. And because the conference is around preventing burnout, because a lot of first responders do experience burnout quite significantly, and vicarious trauma, and a lot of suicide too. So I'm creating a document, a guide that's focused on building your inner strength, because a lot of them are like, they're really fit and, they can scale walls and, run fast and all of that stuff. But how do we build that inner strength so that when we face danger and crisis and all of that, and for them constantly, how we can kind of be mentally strong through that to prevent burnout. So that's what I'm doing. Those are wins, and quite exciting to be part of that. And yeah, my sour's really just facing my own imposter syndrome, and all of my ideas and how I prioritize them, but I'm working through that. But yeah, definitely imposter syndrome, like who am I kind of thing. Yeah, and realizing that the only thing that stops me from the success that I want is myself. because I have access to so many organizations and people in corporate spaces and CEOs and so many connections and opportunities across Australia and New Zealand that it's just the penny starting to drop for me. And how do I kind of move into that more? So that's kind of a sour, not a true sour. It's working through all my thoughts and my own blocks. I'm coaching myself at the moment.
I love that. I love that. What's just coming through around that whole imposter syndrome, which we all kind of, it comes to us and it makes you feel so small, right? Like you feel small and insignificant. It's coming back to that I'm insignificant program. And the way, you know, I've been going through a lot of this year, but I've been going through a lot of the feel that fear and insignificance and do it anyway, which has been a big growth thing for me as well. Even just starting some meditation meetup groups. I know they're not going to be the most incredible Dr. Aspen breathwork style, but I know more. I'm ahead of the people that will come. I know more about breathwork. I know more about mindset, meditation. I am, you know, I might only be a couple of steps ahead, but what I realize is that there are so many people out there that don't know what you know, right? What you know is you've normalized what you know. And so you think it's the norm that everyone knows about subconscious programs and, you know, lenses and meditation and think, no, most people know nothing. I've heard buzzwords, but they really know nothing. So, and Nikki, with your incredible resume and expertise, like, it doesn't even matter if you're not the best or the most confident or whatever it is. Like, what you have to offer is so unique and so valuable just as it is. And another thing that's going, I guess I'm writing a program at the moment, was downloaded last week and it's just flowing through. And the thing I was thinking it this morning, you don't, even with this one project, you don't need to, it doesn't need to be the best of the best of the best, and you don't need to be saving all the lives, right? You're just going to have an impact. It doesn't need to be, if you're only charging this much for it, you know, you deliver what you can. And it's like when you show up online, when you're coaching online, you make a mistake or you miss some information out, the client doesn't know. Oh, you know, and you're comparing yourself with you know, your mentor, or, you know, the best version of yourself, which is only comparing it to yourself, right? And only you know that. But to everyone else, it's your clients that are receiving even what you think isn't the best from your standard is actually still impactful. It still has a massive impact on those people, because they now they know so much more than what they did 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago or an hour ago or a week ago. They already know just that little bit more, right? And so it's about letting go of that perfectionism of needing it to be completely comprehensive, which is where my struggle has been, is like, yeah, but it needs to be comprehensive. It needs to have all of, you know, all the elements of that rabbit hole that you go down and you're like, oh, well, but because I know that this exists, like astrology and the tides and masculine, feminine energy and this, and, you know, there's so many elements of well-being that if I wanted to be perfect and the best in my field, I would have to take a lifetime to actually learn everything. And so being satisfied and being okay with not being like having a lifetime of experience behind you and just delivering exactly what you know, and trusting that what you deliver is going to be impactful exactly how it is. And you can use that to iterate new programs, you know. But if you don't get this one program out, then you can't iterate a better program because because your perfectionism stopped you from even like getting through this one program. So it really comes back to progress over perfection. And that, yeah, you really are like, whatever you deliver, however you deliver it, is going to have impact at some level. And you know more than the average person in this field. So much more. And it really is just coming to that trust and belief in your worth and yourself, and that it doesn't matter if it's not perfect up to your standards that you give yourself. You can always hold yourself to that, but in terms of delivery of the, you know, for the client's perspective, whatever you deliver is going to be amazing. Whatever you deliver is going to create change and impact, right? They're not going to know if you missed out this whole section. They're not going to know if you stuffed up something, right? They're not going to know unless you tell them. And sometimes it's just not necessary. It's just, you know, you just do it better next time.
Thank you, Amber. That all of that really spoke to me, really makes so much sense. And that whole perfectionism thing, and I've been thinking, like, you know, deeper than that is the fear that you're not good enough, fear that it's too low level. And I really resonate with what we know becomes normal for us, and we forget that other people don't know it.
That's a big dream killer. And I know I've definitely experienced that in the last 7 years of doing what I do, is like, you know, I've found myself down that hole of like, I don't know enough. And then you have a conversation to someone that doesn't even know what manifestation is, and then you're like, oh, I know a lot.
It's me. I want to know as much as Joe Dispenza. Like, that's my aim. And so it's like that. I'm not there.
And you don't need to. You don't need to be there. It's good to have an internal goal of like, that's the quality that you want to hold yourself to. But where you are right now is so much further than someone that hasn't even entered the field or started or even considered, you know, the training around first responders or child safety or anything. You know, they haven't even considered it. So yeah.
Thank you.
Always comes back down to those 6 sabotaging identities. You know, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't belong, I'm insignificant, and I'm not perfect. Yeah. They're the core that is really at the root of all of our fear and frustration and our behaviors and actions. So always coming back to that, and remember, you can always, the more you dig deep and understand yourself, like just sitting with it, like when you experience that frustration, sit with it and just allow like that introspection to happen energetically. Just in silence, in a moment, you can transmute that just by sitting with it, just by sitting in that fear and that frustration of feeling insignificant or feeling not good enough. And just by feeling into it, that's when you start to shift the energy, because you're being the witness to it. You're not it. You're being the witness to that experience, and then you're able to shift it. So we'll do, I'm not sure, Natalie. Yeah, you just jumped on.
I just arrived where I was going, so
Good
timing.
To do your sweet and sours, and then we'll jump into just a short meditation.
Sure, I'll try and make it short and sweet and a little bit sour, but okay. Thank you. I just want to say first, like, thank you so much everyone for sharing. I feel like I related and like resonated with so much that people shared, and if I didn't relate or resonate with it, some of like the little tips and everything that you were giving are really useful as well. So it was really valuable. Thank you. And Nikki, sounds like you're doing amazing work also. So my sweet and sour, I've had a really, really massive week, not necessarily professionally, but personally, it's been huge. I've been traveling and on a bit of like a trip for 9 months, and I just decided to come home, and so it was a little bit of a last minute decision, but just being home feels very, very sweet, and yeah, it's really nice. Once I made the decision, it felt like the right one, and I'm really glad that I just kind of went with my feeling and did it, regardless of thinking about how much it was going to cost me for last minute flights and all of these other not very helpful thoughts that were coming into my mind. I just stuck with what I was feeling and what I knew was right and that I wanted to do. So yeah, that was a big win. And before I came back, I started looking a little bit for potential jobs that I could do while I'm back here. And yeah, I started working on my CV again, which actually makes me feel really good because I realize how awesome I am. I was talking to a friend the other day and they're like, oh, I hate doing my CV, like it's such a pain. And I just noticed like I had all of these things going on, like, oh my God, I've done that. Oh, and I've done this, and I've got this qualification. I've got all these like skills, and a lot of them are transferable to the jobs that I was looking at. And I'm looking at having a pretty, maybe not that significant, but a pretty big career shift. And yeah, it feels good. It feels like the right decision. And yeah, so they were definitely big wins. And I actually managed to apply for 2 massive jobs on the weekend as well. I got the applications both done in the same day, so that felt like a really big win. Yeah. And then the sours. Yeah, it's been a massive week. Part of the reason I came home was that I found out that my best friend from high school was suffering a lot with alcohol addiction, and she's been in and out of hospital for suicide attempts. And so that really got to me emotionally. And yeah, it's been huge. I came back and my voice is quivering, and I moved. I went and stayed with her for a couple of nights, and she's really, really, really unwell. And it's been really, really challenging for me because part of the reason of me coming back was that I was feeling like I didn't have a lot of the support that I needed while I was traveling. So I was feeling myself getting quite fragile in that environment because it's very intense. So I kind of saw it as an opportunity to try and set some boundaries and not take all of that responsibility on myself to keep her alive, basically. And yeah, that's been really, really, really hard and really, really huge. And I don't know if it's like too much to share, but yeah, that's been a really big challenge for me this week. And yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. So yeah, between all of that, I also had I jumped across so many time zones in my travels. I came from Canary Islands, so I had to like go back to Europe, and then I went to London and LA and then Sydney and then Brisbane. And so I took like 6 flights to get back. It was ridiculous. it was, yeah, a lot. Anyway, I stuffed up one of the time zones and I booked my flight from Sydney to Brisbane on Thursday, but I actually arrived in Sydney on Friday. And so I was going through all of this stress of like, oh my God, what am I doing? I just want to get home. And I feel like through all of that stress and what my like emotional and mental state was at, I feel like I coped with it really well. And I'm starting to recognize a lot of my triggers and being able to recognize when I feel these things coming up and like choosing how to respond to them differently, and just kind of like, okay, I missed that flight, like let's book another one. You know, it is what it is, instead of stressing or freaking out about it, which I probably would have done, you know, however many years back. So I feel like I deal with that a lot better. And also just seeing how, I feel kind of bad saying this, but seeing how bad my friend is makes me realize how much progress I've done with my mental health as well, in terms of my morning routine, like eating, exercising, sleeping, all of these things that I put in place to keep myself really well. And she's not doing any of them. And it's really challenging for me. But on the flip side, I also realize how much work I've done, and how far I've come with really looking after myself when I feel these challenging times. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing and being so vulnerable, Natalie. Really tough situation. And it's even tougher to sit in that, seeing your friend, but then also being able to actually recognize the strength and growth in yourself as well. And that's a really important thing. And for you to actually hold space for your friend and for celebrating yourself and recognizing how much you've grown is super powerful. And you're bringing that power back to you. That's growth and that's introspection. And I really want to congratulate you on that, being able to hold that space and move through that. 6 flights, wow. Welcome home. It's really nice to see you home. The last 12 months we've been or 9 months, yeah, every coaching call has been from a different country,
different place.
yeah
I'm looking forward to having some stability again.
yeah Amazing. I think what really came up for me for you was just that that self-love and nurture and self-care, just like breathing, going to the beach, going to, you know, spending time in nature and just really nurturing your energy and replenishing yourself, doing all of those things that give you energy so that you can, you know, like going through the jet lag and all the different time zones, energetically, you might feel a little bit like scattered and out and etheric. So bringing, you know, lots of grounding and lots of nurturing and giving yourself that quiet space and time to actually just sit with yourself and give yourself that, giving yourself the energy back to you. Yeah. Yes, you've shown huge strength in vulnerability sharing. So thank you. Honor you for that.
Thanks, Amber.
So we just want to move into, I want you to choose a choice or what feels right. Could be one of the 4 core orientational choices if you know business isn't where you focus right now. And just choosing a choice and just allowing yourself we'll create a 5-minute space here now for you to actually go into that. So getting yourself comfortable, and you can just close your eyes, just taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, filling your belly, holding it and letting it go. And just do a few cycles of deep breathing, just connecting into your body, acknowledging all the beautiful shares, wisdom that we've experienced on the call today. And just bringing that energy back to self. Bringing your focus on the breath. And just releasing any tension in the body, allowing white light to flow down the top of your head and into every cell of your body. Allowing this white light to nourish and relax every cell, every fiber, as it travels down your face, over your ears, the back of your neck, throat, relaxing you as it goes, just dropping your shoulders, feeling your hips drop at the same time, relaxing your spine, relaxing your stomach, your abdominal, your chest, down your arms, fingertips. And just recognize the presence of this moment. Notice your physiology. Just be present, sending your focus down your legs, down the soles of your feet and into the earth. And just imagine you're drawing up the Mother Earth energy from below, and you're connected to the universal energy above. You just feel this complete oneness and acceptance of this physical expression of this human experience that you're having. And with your next breath, just allow yourself to expand out into the universe, where all possibilities exist. And out of all the possibilities, I want you to create a sense of peace with all possibilities that could ever exist. The good, the bad, the ugly, all in between, every possibility, every outcome exists in this space. And it is part of your innate power to bring what is in the ether down into the physical manifested being. And just breathing in, choosing to be the predominant creative force in your life, choosing to be that power that brings into being that of which you desire. Out of all the possibilities that could ever exist, you accept them all. And just dropping into your heart as this physical expression. What do you truly wish to create? What is in your heart's desire to bring down out of all these possibilities, to bring down into this earth to experience? Just want you to connect into what is coming to you now. Receive the information through all your senses. Breathe it in. Breathe in that sense of knowing. What is that? That thing that you are choosing to create? What is your choice? I just want you to say this choice aloud or in your head, but just feel it as you say it, as you think it. Feel it. Choose it. Claim it. Accept it. And bring it down to create a greater probability. As you bring it down into your being and into your heart, you bring down with it all of the things that makes it possible. So as you choose this end result, you're bringing down the journey to create this. And in that journey, you accept all of the possible ways that this could come to fruition. You accept all of the possible ways that you don't know or you can't think of this thing manifesting, the how. And you let go of that need to know. You let go of that control of how it needs to manifest in your life, and you simply choose to create it. Opening up your field and your energetic experience for the universe to deliver exactly how this will be manifested. And just call upon the greatness of your being. Invite your spirit team to be present to support you. And you may ask for support and guidance at any time. Choosing to be open to receive the support, the guidance, the nudges, the intuition. Receive the answers. I just want you to take this choice and bring it into your awareness. Experience it in your mind's eye as though it is already done. And just notice how that comes up for you. Allow yourself to fully immerse yourself in this chosen manifestation, this choice that you get to experience in this lifetime. And just take this next few seconds of silence to fully immerse yourself in your choice, in your end result. See it from your own eyes perspective and walk in your own feet. Walk through, breathe this experience completely and fully, using all your senses. And just go there now. Be there now. Experience it now. And just as you're allowing your mind to go wild in this end result, maybe some details of your business or your life has come up. Maybe you're getting more information. Just allowing yourself to just be in the energy of this, what you're choosing to create. I want you to, from this perspective of it already being done, just look back at your timeline and notice where you are now. I want you to notice what was that next step? What was that next obvious action that you needed to do that will move you forward, and what you did this week that pushed you towards your end result? What is truly in alignment? What is that next obvious action? And when you have it, we're just bringing, you can open your eyes, bringing you back, getting your diary out, and just writing what's obvious, what has come to you now. What's your next obvious action? What feels right for you to do now? And just writing that down. And once you have your thing, we can do a little sharing circle and then we'll end the call. So everyone got their next obvious action? How did we go? If anyone would like to share their next obvious action to keep yourself accountable. Otherwise, we'll end the call. Yeah, just jump on. Oh, you're on mute.
Look, everyone should have learned to lip read by now. The amount of video calls with people on mute. I'm going to, because I'm very visual, I'm going to take what I visualize and what I can see, and I'm going to create it as an image to bring that imagination that I've been thinking about lately, to bring imagination into reality, because that's only about a moment away. So that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
And I'm already on the path for what I want to do this week, connected to it as well.
Oh, thanks for sharing. You don't have to share, but you feel free if you do want to. Otherwise, we'll
I need to watch the next module in my circuit program to bring in more clients and follow the instructions.
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah.
Hire some VA. I need to hire some VAs.
Yeah, we'll put it on your list. If that's something that you need to do and is in alignment, then Andrew, you.
Yeah, the next step is to create the business plan and structure of the company that I'm creating. I've done a lot of the mind mapping and the activities that'll be included in it. So now it's taking it to the next level of business plan, and then with the structure, obviously, how the steps that I'll start with right through to the creation of the long program. So yeah, and then again, sourcing the skills of the people that I can use as facilitators rather than doing it all myself. So, because I'll oversee it, but I won't necessarily implement all of it. So, there's an old saying is you don't have a dog and bark as well. So, where I don't have the skills, I'll bring the people in. So,
awesome. Yeah. That's I was listening to a podcast, Chris Harder, is it? Or no, Brandon Burchard, actually. He's got an incredible podcast, and really talked about creating a team of, if you don't have the skill, create it. And there are people out there that will actually do it, you know, like in a team base, and or really cheaply, or for free, or, you know, to create that just in those initial stages of creating a team, not necessarily just like transactional people to help you like come in and then go, but actually thinking about creating a team of people, a team that you know, you'll share the profits with, or in a certain way, you still having control, but creating a team. Yeah, that was a good podcast to
yeah, I like Brendan. I follow a fair bit of his work, and I've read a couple of his books, and that's the same thing, is work on your strength rather than working on your weakness. You do what you do really well,
Yeah.
and then bring others in, because that's what they do well. And even Stacey mentioned bringing VAs in, you know, because even I don't like admin work. I know that. I'm the people person. I like to be the front. I like to see my customers, and so things like the accountancy and a lot of that paperwork and stuff, I'll have someone do that. They can create the structures, get the C's and the S's out of the disc profile. I'm a high I. I can do the D, but the S's and the C's, someone else can do that. I'll pay them to do that.
Exactly. Really powerful thing to do. Yeah. Even getting on Fiverr and all the Facebook groups where people are willing to help. There are so many Facebook groups out there that actually, like, you just need to ask.
Yep.
So yeah, part of my focus is building this one funnel, and I need someone that knows ClickFunnels. And I've already, I put it out there and already got people coming back. So you don't have to do it on your own. You don't have to do it on your own. Create a team. Yeah. And yeah, you can even do that without investing too much as well. You'll find them out there.
Because a certain amount of people, they want the experience of doing that. So, and as you mentioned earlier, it mightn't be perfect, but they're developing their skill. They can give you what you want. And as you said, maybe down the track, you might then engage them and pay them because they've got a higher skill and they give you the value you want. But that's, you go to your network or tribe, whatever you want to call it. You know, for example, with the Chris's stuff, you know, he's got so many VAs working for him that, you know, the digital marketing guys just go to him and they get VAs. But yeah, it's having that network and going from there. So it's you get greater value because the sum of the whole is the greater than the sum of its parts. So
amazing. Well, great notion to finish on, and I hope you have an incredible week. Enjoy your taking action on your end results, and we'll see you next week at the same time. It's just going to be 8 o'clock every same time every week now. I won't be scheduling clients in on the Mondays, so because it's a new time. All right, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you,
Have a good
everybody.
there you go.
Have an amazing week.